Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Which is more at risk, Lee or Brooke? According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan has found love again. However, Rich Forrester's most recent declaration of love was quickly followed by a fresh threat from his son, who appeared to be unstable once more. By saving Luna Nozawa's life on the operating table, and then giving her a second chance at freedom in the months that followed, Lee Nozawa did the most selfless act of kindness. However, Luna's wildly careless and utterly unappreciative actions have totally discredited what her grandma and aunt accomplished. But now that Luna's staged death has come to light, does Lee's legal danger outweigh the harm Thomas Forrester poses to Brooke? After being heartbroken by Hope Logan, Brooke's daughter, Thomas fled Los Angeles, California. Hope's decision to enter into a transactional relationship with Thomas, in response to Liam Spencer's frequent visits to Steffi Forrester Finnegan, might be described as risky. Buckingham was a suspicion after returning from Forrester Europe without Paris. Thomas quickly informed her that his engagement was over. Despite their brief relationship, Thomas and Paris used Douglas Forrester to forge a familial bond. So much so that when the three of them last visited Los Angeles, he called her mother in front of Hope. Thus, Thomas is left alone when this link is not recognized. Additionally, as the Amazing Hope mannequin plotline shown, he veers off track with too much singularity, as fans are aware. In addition, Brooke and loyal viewers will never forget his attempt to murder his brother and her kid with Rick Forrester and Eric Forrester. Instead of lying low forever, Luna came up with a strategy and carried it out. Like Lee did when she falsely declared John Finnegan dead, she didn't care that Lee jeopardized her medical license. Lee's legal efforts to find a way back to genuine freedom were similarly ignored by Luna. Luna, on the other hand, planned to become the mother of Will Spencer's pregnancy. However, the results of multiple pregnancy tests indicate that Luna is not pregnant, therefore that plan is nullified. Then she foolishly contacted Will via text, which led to him locating her. It's reasonable to say that Brooke and Lee are both in danger in this case rather than having a clear winner or loser. Thomas accuses Brooke of causing his father to end his mother's engagement and destroy her heart. His attention to Lang's character is evidently intense, as Brooke questions Thomas's intentions and how she may defend herself. Lee might easily be denounced to the authorities for her part in Luna's careless disclosure, just as her hospital colleague Grace Buckingham was lately because of the fabricated tumor hoax. Those in the know must sympathize with the incredibly soap opera situation Lee enabled if she is to escape jail or career ruin. Sheila's loss, Deacon's therapy, and Deke's challenge. Here are the spoilers for the week of The Bold and the Beautiful. Supporters might anticipate difficulties for Deke and Remy Price. Overheard is Sheila Carter Sharp. As a result, Deacon Sharp approaches Taylor Hayes for therapy. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Deke, who is dating Remy, was recently introduced to fans. Remy was tempted to give in when Luna Nozawa barged in and demanded his assistance. Simply put, it's fortunate that Deke entered and recognized Luna. Deke and Remy established the law after Luna was fired. In the upcoming week, Deke and Remy will continue to deal with a few personal and professional challenges. Additionally, Deacon will overhear a chat that is not intended for him, according to fans. Lee Finnegan is probably yelling at Sheila about Luna in this instance. Sheila should have warned Lee, but she also hoped her granddaughter would do something different. Sheila was undoubtedly unaware that Luna would become pregnant. Sheila grinned simultaneously upon realizing that Luna's child would be her free card. Later, Deacon confronts Sheila in a furious manner. She was aware of Deacon's feelings for Luna. The girl murdered Paul Hollister and Tom Starr, Deacon's co-workers and close friends. Sheila might thus lose her marriage. According to the week spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Deacon chooses to seek treatment. The man did this once before and had at least one session with Taylor a few years ago. At the time, it was evident how Deacon and Taylor were related. The restaurant owner can persuade Taylor to take Deacon as a patient even though she doesn't want to. Will Taylor and Deacon be the next couple on the soap opera? Additionally, viewers will witness Hope Logan inform Katie Logan, Heather Tom, that Luna is equally deserving of love. Deacon might not be pleased about that. Will Spencer tells Electra Forrester the truth? It blows up exactly as Will says it will. Will is still attempting to reason with Elektra by the end of the week. The fact that Bill Spencer acquires the mansion is also hinted to. Additionally, the patriarch intends to mend Katie's relationship. Does Luna escape? Will she conceal herself until it's too late to get an abortion? Keep an eye out because it might go in several different directions. In the week of the event, which plot line are you most excited to see? Is a new love on the horizon? Thomas startles everyone. According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Thomas Forrester was furious. He appeared prepared to go completely crazy when he seized Brooke Logan. Fortunately, his father came into the design area and stepped in. In a verbal altercation that was at times passionate and at other times poignant, Ridge Forrester ordered his son to retreat. Thomas unexpectedly turned an emotional corner as a result. It was a turning point when Thomas acknowledged that it was deeply embedded in his thoughts, and then embraced Brooke. The audience witnessed a seemingly significant development that alters the course of this plot. Ridge informed Thomas that he was an adult with a successful career and a son who loved him. In fact, since Thomas returned from New York after the untimely death of Douglas Forrester's mother, Caroline Spencer, his innate artistic talent has grown splendidly. When Thomas heard his father speak, he could see how earnest his eyes were. Ridge needed a wake-up call from Brooke's almost drowning, and the mention of it helped Thomas change his perspective. The viewer should be ready for a new trajectory for everyone concerned, rather than going back to a time when a mentally unstable Thomas seeks some kind of sinister retribution against Brooke. Bravo to everyone who contributed to the unexpected finale sequence at Forrester Creations. It was well executed and convincing, which is a tribute to the characters, the storyline, and the camera work in a tight visual. Prior to Thomas's realization, it was simple to predict Steffi Forrester Finnegan's response. Thomas would tip her off, bring her home, and then pile on. However, Thomas has positioned himself as a mediator. Steffi will probably continue to support her mother and scold Brooke. But Steffi probably won't overreact. She might view the developments as inevitable, just like Thomas did. This relates to Taylor Hayes' statement that Thomas shouldn't hold Brooke accountable, which is accurate. It's all him, as Ridge himself stated. Hopefully, the consistently excellent Atkinson will be a long-term member of the cast. His absence in the last year left a noticeable hole. Thomas's quick acceptance of his father's choice to call off his engagement to Taylor and remarry Brooke within a few hours of the same day has left all soap operas open. In order to start designing in-house, he may go back to Forrester Creations. For his part, Thomas needs a new love interest. It's interesting to see if that woman is a new interest or an old one. Rejecting Hope Logan's future endeavors would appear appropriate and consistent with the recent shift in direction brought forth by acknowledging Ridge and Brooke's reunion. Will gets ready to break the devastating news to Elektra after Bill makes an astounding declaration. Luna is informed by Katie and the others that they will not fall for her phony pregnancy test because doing so will not spare her from going to jail. "We're having a baby," she exclaims to Will, insisting it's on the level. He vehemently rejects Luna's assertion that they are connected. "You can't deny this," she says, holding up the pregnancy test. She simply squeals about how thrilled she is and gushes about Katie and Bill meeting their grandchild, despite Lee and Bill accusing her of cheating on the test. Bill drags her out the door because he's had enough. Hope and Elektra engage in small talk in Forrester's design office about Will and his promotion, among other things. They remember that at his party he had a bit too much fun. They waited, and Elektra is quite happy that she left the party. As she extols their mutual trust, Elektra makes it a point to remark that she has never felt so safe with anyone. Thoughts of Luna's resolve to have a future with Will are keeping Sheila from her work at Il Giardino. Deacon approaches and inquires about her thoughts. Sheila merely expresses to him her gratitude for his presence in her life. Folks, this is what they refer to as the quiet before the storm. Deacon nags his wife to come clean since he knows something is hurting her, but she attempts to ignore him. Deacon becomes aware that she is considering her grandchild. "About Hayes," he continues. "Yeah, I am thinking about my grandchild," Sheila says cautiously. Deacon conveniently leaves as Lee arrives. Lee tells Sheila that she is furious. Bill hauled Luna out of the flat, so she's gone. Luna questions why Bill took her home rather than to the police when he drags her inside. Bill yells about the pregnancy fraud and claims it's not her home. It's not a fraud, she says. He notes that after almost killing his brother, she is attempting to destroy his son's life. Why would he take her word for it? Luna believes that Bill's anger stems from Will not telling him about them. Their family is going to be stunning. Bill yells that she is deranged. You are not carrying Will's child, he says menacingly. If she is, she will take charge and act morally. She will liberate Will and have an abortion to show that she loves him. Luna's mouth falls open. Should we advise her to believe Bill? Katie and Will are still at Luna's place, going over what happened again. There is little question that the positive result was genuine because Will is so certain that she is lying about the pregnancy. If it weren't for that night, Katie, who appears to be in a bad mood, says she wants to think it's a scam. Bill informs Katie that he has brought Luna to the house to resolve the situation. Will complains that Electra will be upset when he tells her about this. He is unable to postpone it. I must tell her about my encounter with Luna. As the deacon demands answers, Sheila is cornered. After Deacon learns something he shouldn't have, his worry about Sheila intensifies. Whatever he discovers is sufficient to raise new questions about the woman he has decided to support in spite of her troubled past. We assume he finds that Luna is alive, that Sheila knew about it. Deacon's protective tendencies run counter to his understanding that Sheila's secrets always have repercussions, not only for her but also for others who are close to her. Deacon, unable to remain silent, challenges Sheila to tell the truth. A heated argument that could destroy their brittle trust is set up by his insistence on hearing the whole story about Luna. Deacon's perseverance might put Sheila in a difficult situation, because she has never been one to come clean quickly. With repercussions that go well beyond their relationship, the Luna connection might end up becoming a tipping point. Taylor, Rebecca Budig, takes a risk as Deacon struggles with his reservations about Sheila. She advises him to look for therapy elsewhere. Taylor's argument is practical, but it's also emotional, her desire to keep Deacon from getting pulled further into her maelstrom. Deacon's future may depend on whether he pays attention. Deacon is at the center of a maelstrom that combines deceit, loyalty, and love in this week's events. His decisions have an impact on his own mental and emotional well-being in addition to his connection with Sheila. As Sheila's secrets come to light and Taylor demands action, Deacon could have to choose between rescuing himself and helping Sheila.